So first question, so before you came to see us, how was your health?
Before I came here, my health was really pretty bad, and I was really in a total state of depression because I could feel that my health was deteriorating. I was becoming almost immobile, unfunctional, and really didn't know what to do. And I was getting a lot of pressure from my wife and my son. You need to change, you need to stop doing this. It was getting to the point where the comments were getting kind of nasty. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I don't know what to do. I said, I really don't. I was at the point where she said, well, did you take your blood sugars? I said, no. I said, I'm sweet. I can tell you I'm sweeter than probably you'd want me to be. Yeah. Because it seemed to matter. When I tried to do something and watch what I was eating, the blood sugars were high. When I didn't do it, the blood sugars were higher, but they were way out of range from what they were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of gave up. I said, what's the point? I said, I don't understand. I said, my insulin dosages kept going up every time I went to the doctor, and the answer was, watch what you eat, exercise, and take your insulin. That was the advice I kept getting. Well, okay, that doesn't really help you.
Now, how long were you in that cycle of, when were you diagnosed with diabetes?
Oh, I've been diagnosed probably since my mid-40s, so almost 10 years.
Okay.
And it was progressively getting worse. And every time I went in, the insulin went up, or it was the insulin and pills, and it was a combination of insulin and Humalog. It was just, all it was chemical experimentation, if you would do that, to see if something worked. And nothing was working. I mean, part of it was my fault, and I'm not blaming the physicians because I wasn't eating what I was supposed to do. I was eating the things I wasn't supposed to eat, but no one ever told me what the things I thought were okay turned out not to be okay. So it was just lack of education and just total frustration with what was going on. I used to be very active physically. I used to play racquetball, basketball, golf, and I basically was down to doing nothing. Come home, go to work, come home, sit around, and that was it. So I could see myself, and I was sitting there, even around the holidays last past year, I said, I need to change something, but I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I was in a pretty bad state at that time. I mean, because I really felt hopeless. I've got knee problems that I need to have corrected, which have affected my mobility, the weight, everything else. It was just a combination of things made me feel like, okay, where is this really going? I mean, I don't see any way out of this.
So when you got started here, just maybe talk a little bit about your journey, some of the highlights, things that you thought, wow, that you've been able to kind of grab onto and get going with.
Well, it was kind of interesting because I was sitting home on Saturday. It was on a Saturday night. I was watching Jeopardy or whatever, Wheel of Fortune or something, and I saw your infomercial. And I sat there and I said, well, what do I have to lose? I might as well come and listen. So we came and we listened to the initial presentation, and I walked out of there. I said, I sort of learned more in a half an hour about diabetes and the impact chemically and on the other organs and everything else that was going on in a half an hour. And I've been seeing a physician for 10 years, and no one's ever said anything to me that this is an issue. Mm-hmm. So I said, and it was kind of funny because after, I think the first meeting we had, after that, the preliminary screening, we're driving back home, and Sue said, you're never going to do this. And I said, well, I really don't have much of a choice, do I? And she says, you're not going to do this. I see the menu, I see the foods, I see the program. I said, you won't be able to stay on this. And I said, well, I have to do something. I said, what is your suggestion as an alternative? And when I looked at it, I said, okay, buckwheat, whoa. I looked at that and I said, yeah, this is going to be tough. But I stayed on it and started working it, taking the supplements, and you have to have your partner involved, your wife or your husband, whoever it may be, your significant other, needs to be supportive and helpful. I couldn't do this without her because I don't have the time, because of my schedule and my job, I don't have the time to prepare the meals and schedule everything out and run around and buy all the food and everything else. So it needs to be a team effort. if you're married, and your spouse or significant other has to be supportive of the program. So we went and tried it, and I found it interesting that I thought I was going to be hungry all the time and starving and always looking for things to eat, and the meals kept me full, and the hunger wasn't there like I thought it was going to be, and I was able to maintain it, and without any exercise, without any, because of my knees, I can't do any kind of physical stuff. I've lost 35 pounds since I've been in the program. My health is better. I have more energy based on the tests that we did, the initial lab tests and everything else. All of them that were way out of range, and in some cases dangerous positions have come down to almost to normal in most cases. So I feel better. I have more energy. I'm more positive about being able to control this than I was. I think I've been in this for 2 months now. So 2 months ago, I was pretty much, said, okay, at some point this is just going to kill me. I feel much more able to control my own destiny now and to get this under control and get it fixed.
So you feel like your outlook on life is changed?
Well, it's changed, and it has changed, and people see the difference in me. They think, God, you look good. I've had to go out and buy new clothes because none of my old clothes fit. People say the color in my face looks better. I used to wake up in the morning and just getting dressed to go to work. By the time I got to work, I was sweating profusely. I mean, it looked like somebody had dumped a bucket of water on me when I walked in the office. I don't have the night sweats anymore. I don't sweat from exertion like I used to before. So appearance-wise, physical-wise, it is better. It seems to be working.
And if you were going to give advice to somebody that was in your shoes or is in your shoes at the time 2 months ago when you started, so 2 months ago before you got here, where you were at, if you were talking to somebody that's there, what would you say? Advice?
I think this is it's a good program in that it looks at things from a different perspective, and that it does. You have to be committed to this. It's not something you can do on a lark. It's a lifestyle change, and it's not easy. I will tell you that I've had my weeks and my days when I just went off and kind of went back to the old habits. But the difference now is I know when I'm doing it consciously as opposed to unconsciously, which was I was doing before, and I can see by measuring my blood sugars and seeing what's happening, what the results of making those decisions are. But you need to be committed to this and focused on it. And I think if you do that, you'll see a change. I mean, I've seen a tremendous change. It's and other people have said it to me also. So I mean, it's not just me feeling it; it's other people telling me that they've seen a change.
Okay, thank you very much.